So I want to go through, this is the current build as of 7/25. Uh, this morning I just got a build from Harsh, and I'm wiping the emulator every time, so this is a new build. It's doing some different things than I've seen before. But the what I want to go through on this video is just what's not working and what should be very different. Um, what is working is, like for instance, this command screen, uh, some of the screens are pretty much there. You guys know the galactic chart doesn't work, but a lot of this stuff is coming along. It's in the right places. Here's what's not working. Um, my suspicion on this version is that I don't believe that the I mean if I try and buy cargo, pretty much can't play the game at all unless you can buy cargo. When I try to buy cargo, I get none of this is working. So it is. I don't think that there's a scenario in the game where nothing at all is sold. I'm not saying it's impossible, but looking at you know when we first go to the first planet, you should be able to buy cargo. Okay, so I can't buy any cargo because none of it, in theory, none of it is sold on this planet. But that's just an incredibly rare, if not impossible, occurrence. There should always be some sort of cargo that you can buy. Some of them might not be available, but something should be. So I I suspect that the back end here, the back end of the economics behind buying and selling, just isn't working, or something else isn't working with the buy cargo function. Okay, I'm not able to buy cargo, so I can't sell any. Uh, what else? The other main things that aren't working. I mean, the galactic chart doesn't do anything. Uh, the shipyard, I'm not. It says I have enough fuel to fly 1 parsec. I buy a full tank. It gives me 20 parsecs, which looks that looks right. Um, it didn't take any cash away, so that's might be an underlying cache mechanic, or it might just be a display problem. But that's not a huge deal. That's more of a bug than a function killer. What's really in this version makes it non-functional is a couple things related to these functions right here. The main sequences in the game for everybody revolve around what we call the warp screen and the warp sequence. Uh, in the iPhone version, the sequence here is correct. This would take you to this screen, which is the short range chart. In this version, there are no system names, and there's also no way to click on a system. So I can click all around here. There's no way to select a system to travel to. So that's a deal breaker right there, because we can't test the core functionality of the game unless we can travel to a system. What should be happening here, obviously there should be system names, and there has been in a previous version, but not in this one. There should be system names, and I should be able to select a system. That should immediately take me away from this screen without, I don't have to press close on it. I should be able to select a system. That takes me out of this screen and takes me to a screen that looks similar to this. Um, I shouldn't be having to go down here. This is actually, this button should be a slightly different screen. But in the warp sequence, I would have been able to select a system. Uh, I would have been able to select a system here, and then it would automatically take me to a screen that is similar to this one. And then that would show me my commodities that I can buy and sell. So that would show me, in this case, average price list would show up, and it would show me commodities that I can buy and sell. I could go back to the short range chart if I wanted to. I could have access to the galactic chart. And most importantly, I could decide I'm ready to go. I've bought some commodities. So that, this isn't working at all. Not, again, this screen should be part of the warp sequence. It shouldn't actually be under the system button here. That's a different function. It looks very similar, but these buttons are very different. In the correct version, and I'll show you guys, you can look at it at the iPhone video to see how this is supposed to work. But anyway, the concerns are obviously can't select a system, no system names, but mainly just can't select a system. That's you can't really do anything with that. Here, this is wrong. This stuff shouldn't be here. It should be part of the warp sequence, but even so, these buttons don't do anything. So none of these buttons are connected to anything. So that's a concern. The other concern is that buying cargo does that strange flipping behavior, but it's telling us that there's just no cargo available at all to buy, and that again is really, it's not right. So there should always be some cargo available to buy. So that tells me something's wrong in the mechanics of buying and selling cargo. So those are the, without getting into any little weird bugs that might be in there, those are just core functionality that's not working right now in the game. So we need to get that stuff fixed and ironed out, and I'm going to send you guys a video of the iPhone version so you can see the flow, and especially the flow of this warp screen and how that should be behaving. But yeah, so these are some bad, these are not what I call bugs, because these are things that just aren't working at all. They're not even working enough to allow us to test for bugs, because believe me, there's going to be plenty of bugs. Got to get this stuff working first. All right.